morning.
Good morning.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Judy.
And we're starting the Timberline Trail. It's August 10th. And we ran into a little glitch immediately before even starting the trail. We stayed in Sandy last night at an Airbnb.
It's very nice.
And we were taking the Mount Hood Express bus to the Timberline Lodge to start the hike. And the bus had to stop before getting off Highway 26.
9 miles before we got to the lodge.
Right, there was a big cement truck rollover on the road going up to the lodge, so they couldn't go any further. And we don't know when they're going to be able to get a bus up there. It might not be till this afternoon. So we found a different way. We were at a ski area, and there is a trail that climbs up to the Timberline Trail. So it's going to add some mileage, it's going to add some elevation gain, but it's better than waiting around for 5 or 6 hours and maybe lose the whole day. So we're heading up that trail right now. So we're taking a multi-purpose break here. We're having lunch. So how many miles are we?
We're 2 miles into the Timberline Trail.
Yeah, about 2 miles, but we've done almost 6.
We've done 6 miles so far. We got 4 extra miles.
Those are extra credit miles.
Sure were. They were all uphill.
Yeah. So we're having lunch, we're filtering water. We thought we were going to get water at Timberline Lodge. We never went to Timberline Lodge because we couldn't. What else are we doing?
Lunch, water, setting up the chairs, recharging our phones a bit.
That's right, recharging our phones. That's the other thing. So a multi-purpose break. We were hoping to get 10 miles in today to Ramona Falls.
Is that happening?
We'll see if that's happening. I don't know, because we did that extra 4. We'll have to see how we're feeling when we get a few more miles in, but it's about 10 past 1, so it's still pretty early. Good morning. Day 2 of the Timberline Trail. We're getting ready to leave.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
Almost 8. Judy's taking a rest in her chair. We had our coffee and tea,
Oatmeal.
breakfast, The mountain's still there. It was a great campsite.
This beautiful campsite. A little chilly this morning.
A little chilly. Our first order of business is to cross the Sandy River right there. We've seen a lot of people cross, but we just met Huck. He's a PCT thru hiker, and he had to take his shoes off and walk through in his bare feet. So we're hoping to avoid that, but I don't know if we can. So we'll find out in a minute and then get on the trail. We have a mile to Ramona Falls, and then another 12 or so miles. Freezing. Taking a little break here.
Nap time.
We made it safely across Sandy River.
Just barely.
Made it to Ramona Falls, which is beautiful. And we're on the way up to, I think it's called Top Spur Junction. Beautiful woods, nice creek.
Beautiful.
What was your favorite part so far, crossing the Sandy River?
Oh, that was great. It was cold.
Sandy River was freezing. We had to wade through it. There's no way to cross on rocks. Had to wade through. But we made it and we didn't swim. All right, we're taking a lunch break here. We just did a lot of climbing. I don't know, 2,500 feet maybe. A lot of climbing. And we picked this spot because you walk out of the woods and all of a sudden that hits you right in the face. Beautiful view of Mount Hood. Amazing. Good morning. Day 3 Timberline. It's another absolutely beautiful day. We started out about 7:30 today. After that really nice campsite last night right on the creek. Got a good night's sleep. I didn't, did you?
I did. I always do.
I almost never do. And last night was no exception. But we're off and we're heading hopefully to Newton Creek today, about 11.5 miles. The terrain right now is beautiful. We really seem to have hit this right. It's right at the top of the wildflower boom. Just beautiful. Great views of Mount Hood, great views of the surrounding mountains. We've reached the Cove branch, and this is one of the more difficult crossings, and it certainly looks that way. It's really roaring today. We're going to look for a safe crossing here, I think a bit upstream. This does not look crossable right there. All right, we made it across the Cove branch.
We did it.
It wasn't easy. It was tough. We couldn't really find what looked like a dry crossing, so we started out, we went upriver to about there, came across these rocks, had to make a jump, and then up this way. And then we just came right up here, and we hopped across these rocks right here, and we were able to do it safely. But we did see another guy throw his pack across the river, and then he was going to jump, and the pack fell back into the river and went downstream probably 200 yards. We could have lost it. We could have lost that pack. All right, we're decompressing after crossing the Cove branch.
I'm trembling. Oh.
We made it though. That's what counts. That guy who lost his pack could have been absolutely screwed. That thing could have gone a mile down the river. That river was roaring. We can hear it now. We've climbed probably 200 or 300 feet above the river, but we still hear it roaring down there. So we're feeling pretty good about that.
I guess so. My legs are still shaking.
We do have the Elliott branch coming up later today, and that's supposed to be the most difficult one. So we'll see. We have a great view here looking out. We can actually see Mount Rainier in the distance. And it looks spectacular, but it won't come out on the camera because it's just too far away. But it's really a beautiful, beautiful view.
We can still give a shout out to Danny and Sean because they're at Mount Rainier doing the Wonderland Trail.
Yes,
right now.
Our two sons.
Finishing up.
They're finishing up the Wonderland Trail, and I'm looking closely, but I don't see them out there on the mountain.
I thought I saw a glimpse of them, but
maybe
I could have been mistaken.
All right, we've reached the Elliott branch. I'm up above it now, looking down at it, and that's a pretty powerful flow. So I think the trail crossing is actually right up there, way up there. But a lot of people are telling us that they're crossing on these two logs down here. And I think that's what we're going to try to do. All right, so that's the Elliott branch right there, that big waterfall. And then the river continues down here. We're on the other side now. We made it across, and we're pretty happy about that. Looking down here, there's some other people getting ready to cross or looking for a place to cross. We were able to walk across the two logs. We had to step in the water at the beginning, but it was kind of scary, but we made it across. And the scariest part was actually that, climbing down that scree down to the river. That was brutal. But we're over it, we're up above it, and we're moving on. Right? Are we moving on?
We're moving on.
After crossing the Elliott River, we climbed up to Cloud Cap Campground, had lunch there. That was nice, great break. And now we have this huge climb up to the top of this ridge. We're way above tree line. We're at like 7,300 feet. It's kind of cool up here. It's like being on a different planet. So we still have a few more miles to go to get to Newton Creek, where we want to camp tonight. All right, we made it. Where do we make it to?
Day 3, Cove Trail. No.
End of day 3. We're on the Timberline Trail. We're not on the Cove Trail.
Yes. We made it here to Newton Creek.
Newton Creek. That was our goal. We made it to Newton Creek.
It was a tough day.
12.5 miles. Today's challenges were 2
Scary.
tricky, some would say scary, river crossings. And a lot of blowdowns that were difficult to get around.
And a lot of climbing again.
A lot of, yeah, a good amount of climbing too. But we have an epic campsite for the 3rd night in a row. Our tent is over there. Mount Hood's right back there. And what you can probably hear is Newton Creek itself in the background, which that's tomorrow's first challenge for us.
It'll be a challenge.
So we have that to look forward to. But for tonight, it's wine and Cheez-Its time.
Wine.
Wine and Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its right here.
Cheers.
Cheers. Morning. We're on day 4, our final day on the Timberline Trail.
It's just another perfect weather day, and the trail's really beautiful here. Cut into the steep mountainside, lots of little streams, all of which have beautiful wildflowers along the banks. We started the day with the crossing of Newton Creek.
That was a big one.
That was one of the big ones. I think the water was down a little from last night, so maybe it was a little bit easier.
It was icy cold.
Freezing cold, but we just walked through it. We saw a lot of people looking for a dry crossing on rocks, and nobody could find a dry crossing, so we didn't even bother looking. We just walked right through it, and it wasn't too bad. All right, we're finishing up the end of the Timberline Trail.
We did it.
Almost at the famous Timberline Lodge.
Looking forward to a glass of water.
We ran out of water about 2 miles ago, and we had a steep, sandy, hot climb, but we survived.